Cheers to episode 2.
Bow, Scott, double shot.
Here. I hope you got your thermostats ready because this is the TempCheck Podcast. All right.
TempCheck Podcast.
We ready or not? Check. You already know who it is. It's Survive.
And I go by Don John, Eastside Donnie.
And this is the TempCheck Podcast.
Yeah. So what's going on with you, brother?
Nothing, man. Same shit, different toilets. Been a long ass week. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I hear that too, man. Same here. Had to take off of work. Told him I was sick, and I actually got a little bit sicker than I was when I told him that.
So you lied to them niggas at first.
I told them the truth. I felt it coming along, and it just really arrived. I didn't expect it.
So you foretold it, like That's So Raven.
It was some That's So Raven shit. Speaking of That's So Raven, the first topic, Orlando Brown. You familiar with him?
Yeah.
He played Eddie on That's So Raven.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I want to talk about Orlando Brown is his records that he's putting out. He actually started off with a record this year called Famous.
You owe money, bitch, I got a loan son. Hi, I'm famous. You know what my name is. Money to Uranus, nigga, you can kiss my anus. Niggas talking shit.
And you know what? It's kind of good.
Yeah, I heard that shit, man. That song is hard, bro.
I
was surprised.
Yeah, it's like, to me, it was just, it had some Lil Wayne reminiscence in it. It had a little bit of Eminem.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it was obscure. And I think that's why I liked it.
The other song that I heard by him was Empire. That song was hard. I don't know. Orlando, he doing his thing out here.
I'll say this. The reason I think it sounds like Lil Wayne a little bit is because back in the day, Lil Wayne would have those type of metaphors, simile setups.
Right.
And Orlando was doing the same shit. And I'm like, hold up. This dude was paying attention in the early 2000s. You know, when Lil Wayne was really prevalent on the scene like that. So I was like, okay, this is something that I can actually listen to and appreciate. I don't know if I'm going to go back and listen to it for like the listening pleasure of it. But when I listened to it the first time, I was like, okay, this ain't bad.
Yeah. I got to see if that shit is on like Apple Music or something like that. I'll probably bump it in the whip.
It probably is. It's definitely on like YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram and all that good stuff.
Okay. Yeah. You seen Trick Daddy mugshot, man?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yo, what the fuck was that, man? Hey, damn, bro. Miami PD, why y'all do that to that man?
Some people say he has lupus. And
he does have lupus, but he's been trying to self-medicate. But I don't think cocaine is the...
Is it cocaine?
Yeah, that's what they found. They found cocaine in the little dollar bill rolled up.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think that's a remedy for lupus.
Nah, I haven't heard cocaine being a remedy for much of anything.
Yeah.
But I will say that, Trick Daddy's one shot did look very, very bad.
Like somebody got a Sharpie. Like.
It just like, because it was hair, it was like an island. It was like he had his own island on top of his head. It was just not a good look
at all.
It's just not a good look at all.
They should just like let him keep his hat on.
They can't let you keep your hat on.
You remember when Plies got arrested in the airport? He's like, "Come on, man, please let me keep my hat on."
Hell,
they should have did the same thing. But Trick, man, he the king of Miami, dog. Yeah, he's a legend, bro.
He's definitely a Florida Air, without a doubt. Shameless plug. All right. Yeah.
What you got next, man?
Well, actually, my next topic is something that everybody appreciates. When this guy comes on the scene, he always leaves us with something to think about. So it's Will Smith going on the Breakfast Club and dropping gems. And Will Smith dropping gems in general. Because that's what Will Smith do.
True.
Wherever he go, he drop gems. Yeah. We have to protect Will Smith at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because he is putting us on game. He's showing us different ways to think. And he's challenging the way that we look at our lives on a daily basis.
Yeah. I saw where he was talking about Tupac and Jada Pinkett and how he was jealous with that whole situation. Like they grew up as friends or whatever. Right. So he felt some type of way when she would like be around him and everything.
Were you ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac?
Oh fuck yeah!
I know
oh my god, that dude! And that was in the early days.
Yeah,
that was in the early days, and it was like that was a big regret for me too, because I could never open up to interact with Pac.
Mm-hmm.
And because we had a little bit of a thing, right? Because they grew up together. and they loved each other, but they never had that. They never had a sexual relationship, but they had come into that age where now that was a possibility. And then Jada was with me, so Pac had a little thing on that, but she just loved him like he was the image of perfection, but she was with the Fresh Prince, so it was like I never could, like, even we were in a room together a couple times, I couldn't speak to him, and he wasn't going to speak to me if I wasn't going to speak to him.
Really? It seemed like y'all would have so much in common.
No, that's what Jada would say all the time. She was like, I'm telling you, y'all are so similar. You will love him. And I just never, that was a huge regret of mine. I just I couldn't handle it. I was the soft rapper from Philly, and he was Pac.
Right.
How you feel about that? Like, is it cool? Do you think it's cool for like your spouse to be friends with the opposite sex if they grew up together?
Well, yeah, I don't see like an immediate issue with it. Mm-hmm. The only struggle I could find in that type of situation, specifically with Will Smith, Jada, and Tupac, is the type of relationship that Jada and Tupac had. He will explain Jada as seeing Tupac as the ideal person,
right?
Like the top tier of what a man should be.
Yeah,
he was definitely an activist in his own right. He was an artist, so he's creative. He has a sensitive side. And the fact that Will Smith was her boyfriend at the time was absolutely challenging for him to see her being around this man that she adored.
Yeah,
so I can see the challenge in that. However, they were all the entertainment business, so they all shared some of those characteristics regardless. So I'm sure it wasn't easy for him,
right?
And I'm sure it wasn't easy for him to admit that on Breakfast Club, but he damn sure did.
Personally, man, I don't know if I could have stuck it out with Jada Pinkett, because if I saw her with Tupac and we've been friends since we were little, y'all fucked. That's what happened. So my pride. And you already like put this nigga on a pedestal too? Oh nah.
Yeah, they probably did.
Hey, I commend you, Will Smith. So I commend you, because I couldn't do it, man. There would be no red table talks for me at all.
He did say, he said on the interview, they were good friends and they were getting to the point where that could have been an option, or they could have explored that. But right when that happened, he popped on the scene and got with Jada. So Tupac felt away a little bit, because like, now that I can go to this level with this woman, bring your ass in here.
Yeah. And I respect that. I respect that comment, because I remember hearing that. Not that I believe it when I heard it. No, not really. Because I was out there, I smashing at like 14. You know what I mean? So if I'm smashing at 14, these guys that are in entertainment way before I even thought about being an entertainer, they have access and they have level of influence, at least a little bit, so they can do whatever they want to a certain extent. They're making money at that young age, so did they have sex? No, according to Will Smith.
Shit, all right.
Also had a topic that tied into this, right?
Yeah.
So Bad Boys for Life movie. Since we're talking about Will Smith, now Fox accidentally mistake Eddie Murphy as Will Smith. How in the fuck do you let that happen in the editing room?
Eddie Murphy's my complexion.
Eddie Murphy is your complexion, and
Will
he's
Smith
a lot older than Will Smith.
Is he?
Is he not?
I thought they were about the same age.
How old is Eddie Murphy?
58.
All right, Will Smith is 51.
Okay.
So there's not a lot older, but he is older than him.
He got about a little bit.
Yeah. So,
but black don't crack, so
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, who the hell Eddie Murphy is. You know who the hell Will Smith is. Mm. So it ain't like no easy mix up.
Right.
It's like you didn't even. That wasn't no typo. You literally typed Eddie Murphy when you saw Will Smith.
Right.
That's one thing. It does help sales. Because it's controversy.
Shit, I'm about to go see that next week.
Hell yeah. And
Bad Boys 3 is out now, though.
Yeah, and Bad Boys for Life is one of those ones that's going to pretty much say, okay, there's a legacy of movies attached to this name. If this is done right, people are going to be excited for the other movies that are legacy movies, like Friday, Last Friday, Coming to America 2. You know what I'm saying? So people are going to be excited about those things. Hopefully it's done right. I am going to go see it, you know, because that is a saga that it has not let me down.
Right.
You know, so I'm excited to see that, John.
I actually remember the shooting of Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
I was living in Miami at the time. Shit, I was probably like 10 or 11. But I actually remember meeting Will Smith and Martin. I fuck with Martin. Martin was like super antisocial. He was like, all right, nigga, I see y'all on the flip side. Y'all see my movie. Don't touch me, nigga. He got in the limo and peeled out. Okay, so next I got Kodak begging Drake out of jail to do a collab album with him. So Drake posted this picture, like he does all the time, Champagne Poppy. He posted his picture on IG, and Kodak types in the comments, yo, I'm your biggest fan. We need to do a collab album. I'm not trying to do a collab.
He said I'm your biggest fan?
Yeah. He was like, I'm not trying to do a collab single. I'm trying to do a whole album.
Wow.
And I won't settle for less. So with that, I guess my question is, shouldn't Kodak be, you know what I'm saying, worried about the time that he has in jail? Because he's supposed to be spending 4 years in jail.
Okay.
So he need to, like, figure that out before he even try to start some other shit with Drake, you know what I'm saying?
So he is in jail.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get a collab album with Drake.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Which was crazy because I remember back in the day, Drake was the reason why I heard of Kodak. Drake posted himself dancing to, I think, Skirt. And Kodak was like, yo, you don't have to co-sign me. But now he want. I think 7-8 years later, now he want to collab or whatever. So that's one thing. On the flip side, my question is, what would Drake even be in 4 years?
On top, because that's what
you think so?
Hell yeah, because that's what that nigga do. Like Lil Wayne did the same thing. Drake is following his template.
I think Drake has been slowly declining.
In what way?
In quality of music to me.
But we felt that same way about Lil Wayne when he did Prom Queen.
Yeah, that shit.
When he did
trash.
we didn't like that shit.
But I'm saying you still think Drake is gonna be on top in 4 years?
Nigga,
on top.
Nigga, yes.
The little niggas don't even fuck with Drake like that.
Okay, little niggas didn't fuck with Jay-Z, and look at where Jay-Z at.
That wasn't music though. That wasn't solely music. That was business shit too.
But Drake is business as well. We don't see him having a bunch of different businesses outright, but that's not to say that he doesn't have endorsements or he doesn't have stock in different companies. You know, so
right. But I'm talking about the music. Will he still be on top musically?
Yes.
In 4 years,
nigga. Drake is one of those names that everybody knows. Everybody knows Drake. Okay. Drake is an individual who could make a song, put it out. Remember Hotline Bling? Remember how hard that shit went? Yeah. Remember Trophies? Right. You know what I'm saying? Remember Marvin's Room? And you name,
but again, you're naming all the songs that aren't hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So like,
well, hip hop or whatever genre we want to talk about is music, and he will be on top in music because that's what Drake does, and that's the reason why. So. Because he has so many different lanes that he could go in and create music. It's not just a hip hop sounding record. He could make something that's R&B, you know. And who's to say what's next? He might do a song with Lil Nas X. You know what I'm saying?
I hope not.
And that shit could be classified as country. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no telling where Drake will go.
But I'm saying Drake, to me, Drake hasn't even been on top. When I say top, I mean number one, not top 5. Right. He hasn't been number 1 for a while now. Right. So for me, he's been slowly declining. So in 4 years, yes, Jay-Z is still on top if we're talking about business and everything, but musically he doesn't put out as much music. So are we saying that Drake, he's 33 right now, he'll be 37, will he still be putting out as much music as he is now?
I won't say he'll put out as much music, because who's to say? However, I know that his space in this music world is solidified. So, I agree. You know, so if he's following a Young Money template, he'll be fine. He will be at the top. Okay. You know, and it ain't as if he's gonna go off and get pregnant, like, you know what I mean, like Nicki Minaj, or start a family or anything like that. Yeah. I'm not saying Nicki Minaj went off to get pregnant. All I'm saying is, like, she's a woman, so she has the capacity, theoretically, to get pregnant. Yeah. So that will require some time off. You know, Drake doesn't require time off as far as his makeup You know, so it's like, okay, Drake is going to continue to thrive, and he's going to continue to put out music on what quantity of music he's going to release, I'm not sure. But as far as the template of him releasing music, he knows what type of music he should release. He knows the sound at the time. His team is able to prepare a record for him, along with him, to release and maintain a certain status. So there's no replacing Drake, and there's no diminishing of Drake at this point. He is solidified.
I don't know. I disagree, man. I think in 4 years he's gonna be slowly declining, kind of like LeBron. Like LeBron has been at the top for so long, but in year 17, he is not as agile or as fast as he was in year 10. That's what I mean. Like, I don't necessarily mean that he's going to completely fall off, but there's going to be some level of plateau, some level of decline as well. That's what I mean by that. I don't necessarily mean the nigga going to fall completely off and he not going to have no fan. He not going to have any fans or whatever. But I think when Kodak gets out, he needs to worry about who he's going to collab with out of like the younger niggas, like a Lil Baby. Because in 4 years, I think Lil Baby will still probably be here. Same thing with a Gunna. Well, he don't fuck with NBA. But yeah, that's
we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
We'll see about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I like some of those artists you name, but Lil Baby's not my favorite. I ain't got nothing against Lil Baby.
But Lil Baby is also on the rise, though. He hasn't even hit his pinnacle yet.
He is on the rise, and I like Da Baby over Lil Baby.
That's fine too. But Da Baby, again, he ain't just started, but like he's just
really popping.
So when he hits his pinnacle, if I'm Kodak, I'm reaching out to him. I'm reaching out to Meg. He can't reach out to the City Girls because he already deaded that whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So and they both from Florida, which is fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah.
What you got?
Okay. So shit. So Kendrick Lamar is said to have a new album that might be heavily rock inspired. How I feel about it, I've never really been a fan of the whole rock rap collab, except for Jay-Z and Linkin Park.
Yeah.
That's the last like hip hop rock shit that I was fucking with. Never fucked with the Run DMC, Walk This Way with Mick Jagger and all them. Nah. But yeah, Jay-Z and Linkin Park was the last like rap rock fusion that I fucked with. As far as Kendrick Lamar, man, I don't know.
And I like Kendrick.
I love Kendrick. That's my favorite rapper.
Oh, that's what's up. Kendrick's incredible, bro. I was listening to the Untitled Unmixed.
Oh man.
Yeah, or Unmastered.
Yeah.
On my way here, one of the records came on and shuffled, and I really do like that album or project or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But Kendrick doing a rock inspired project, I think it would make sense because of the mind that is Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be a very meticulous project.
Oh, most definitely.
You know what I mean? So,
I think about the album Damn. He got the song XXX with U2, and U2 that's a rock band right there. So he does like that song has like 4 different parts, and then
he got a song with Taylor Swift too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He got a song with Taylor Swift. He got a few songs with like different like pop and like rock artists. It's just that, do I want to listen to a whole project of Kendrick rapping over guitars?
Hopefully he brings it in a way that isn't monotonous.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure Kendrick Lamar knows how to prepare the content.
He did a great job with To Pimp a Butterfly. Right. With the whole jazz inspired music and stuff. So he might do the same thing, might flip the whole rock thing too. I don't know who he would collab with aside from U2, and I don't know who else he really fucks with in the rock world, but
I'm not too big on rock right now. I ain't gonna lie to you, so I wouldn't even be able to tell you. I wouldn't know where to start.
Nigga, I never really fucked with rock. The only shit that I ever fucked with, as far as rock, is whatever came on Madden. Whenever I used to play Madden, and whatever used to come on WWE. Yeah. So like they used to play a lot of Creed and Nickelback and shit like that. Yeah. So that's the only rock that I'm real familiar with. I know in high school I used to fuck with Evanescence or whatever, but other than that, rock ain't really my steez like that.
Yeah, same here. They played that type of shit on Need for Speed. and I just be driving my ass off. That's why I drive like the way I drive now.
Oh yeah, this nigga be hitting all the potholes. All right, man, we're gonna take this break. Y'all check out Don John's X
check
Real.
out my X Real, man. Yeah.
Hey, stop scrolling. My X Real spotlight is dropping right now. Check me out.
Yeah, she
What's going on, people? It's your man Don John, aka Donatello, aka Eastside Donnie, and this is my X Real Spotlight.
What is my thing? Habitual fling, still buying you things to show that I'm here. Notice the damage before they could tap it, but
I'm a podcaster, so that's essentially what I do. Talk. I'm a talker. I'm a conversationalist. And I like to think I do it pretty well. I got started with Music Theory 101. That is the first podcast music review show that I did. And artists just sending their music via email without asking them. They were sending it to me just to get my response. So I said, why not just put it on camera and make it a show? Keep myself valuable and keep myself active creatively. So that's what I decided to do, and that led me into other podcasts. You can find me on Instagram at Official Don John, on Twitter at Poppy Don John. This has been my X Real Spotlight, and we out.
way too chilled not to sing the songs that I wrote the other day. You remember on my Snapchat vid how you told me?
All right, man, we back. We bike.
We back.
We bike. What you got, bro?
All right, so my next topic is Roddy Ricch is the #1 on billboards.
Okay.
Right. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber take to social media to instruct their fans to stream their music on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Competition in music, is it healthy or unbalanced or unfair?
Ooh, I would definitely say right now it's a little bit more balanced because, as we know, hip hop is the #1 genre. As far as music goes, I think a lot of the pop artists are feeling a lot more intimidated now than they were 10 years ago by hip hop artists, because a lot of hip hop artists weren't really having the #1 song in the country on all, you know what I'm saying, like on the pop charts or whatever. So
yes,
you heard that Justin Bieber song, Yummy?
Yeah, I heard a piece of it.
That song is utterly trash, bro. Like, I'm never calling a girl yummy.
I heard a piece of it. I didn't like it. As far as what I saw, and all right, so what I saw was if y'all see this viral video,
I haven't even seen the video. I just heard the song.
Yeah, it's like a nurse or RN. She's walking into a building, and then it's like she goes and she lines up with about 4 different women on the staircase. And on the yummy part, they just do like a little gyration.
Are these styrofoam women?
No, they ain't.
Oh, okay.
But they're cardboard.
Oh.
So they do a little gyration, and it just didn't sell the record for me.
Man, I saw he put some shit on Twitter where he was saying like he was saying he was giving rules to stream the song multiple times. He was saying, oh yeah, play it and turn it down and listen to it at night and shit. Like, bro, I'm not listening to your song at all. Like, come on, man. Man, Post Malone really took Justin Bieber's spot for me as the only white nigga that could sing on some black shit. You know what I'm saying?
Man, honestly, I have a problem with all of them. Okay?
What?
And the problem I have...
You don't like Post?
I don't necessarily dislike Post, but I'm going to explain what I'm saying.
Okay.
Our music has been stolen for years, centuries,
right,
decades.
Right.
So when someone comes in and they make a record that sounds good, okay, you found a formula for a record that sounds good, but you ain't got the feel. So fuck you. You don't. You know what I'm saying? You're not making a record that makes me feel no type of way.
What about like with Sam Smith? You could feel what the fuck he be saying.
You can feel Sam Smith, but Sam Smith is singing other people's music.
I don't know nothing about that.
A lot of his records are covers. Okay, let's just be honest.
Okay.
And they do feel good. You know, so what I'm saying is I'm looking forward to artists that aren't necessarily born into this shit. Like, I'm born into this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm born into the hip hop community. I'm born into the R&B community, you know, as we all are because of our background. You know, so I'm looking forward to these folks that come into our community to make records that we can feel versus records that we can just hear and say.
So you expecting? I'm sorry. So you expecting a white person to give you the same feeling that someone that's more soulful or of the black community, you're expecting them to give you the same feel as a black person? Because that's impossible.
I'm expecting white people not to come into black spaces being mediocre. That's what I'm expecting. So don't come into our space sounding good. Come into our space making us feel good as well. You know, making the record something that we can attach ourselves to from our experiences. So a sound good record, we already got black people that make sound good records. We don't need you to come in here and make sound good records. Make a record that we can feel, and then we can appreciate you as a part of the culture if it's genuine.
I think that's hard for them to do because they don't live the black experience. So how can they create something to make you feel more attached to them? You know what I'm saying? Well,
if that's the case, we don't want it. I don't want it. If it's not something that I can attach myself to, or people in a mass can attach themselves to and feel some type of connection, versus just hearing it and saying, oh, that beat hard. We don't need no more, oh, that beat hard. Because what happens is the business aspect comes into play. And when that beat hard, you know what I'm saying, people attach to that record, they stream that record, they stream that artist, and revenue goes to that individual versus individuals in our own communities. And in our own communities, we already have a struggle with economic equality. So it's not something that we really can afford. People coming into our musical space and taking more money out of the pockets, in which this is the outlet for a lot of us, is music, sports, entertainment. You know, so if you're not coming into this space providing value, then we can't do nothing with you. You know, so come into the space providing value, then we can have that type of dialogue at that point.
Okay, I still fuck with Post Malone. That nigga, bro.
I hadn't heard many Post Malone records. But the ones I heard, they sound good.
Yeah. I just don't think that they can make us feel that experience that we're.
But what about Yebba?
Yebba's nice. She's fire.
Yebba makes you feel. Amy Winehouse, one of the ones you can feel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the nigga that sung, it's what's that one? It's an old school record. And niggas was like, I can't believe that this was a white man.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Caldwell. That's his name. Caldwell something.
What's the name of the record?
I think for you.
Yeah, can't let go. Bobby Caldwell.
Yeah, I was right. Bobby Caldwell.
What You Want to Do for Love.
Yeah.
All right, so as I was saying, like, say for instance, Bobby Caldwell, he came into the industry with value. It wasn't a record that just sounded good. I felt that shit. Yeah. We felt it so much. And you don't have to, it don't have to be like we don't think that you're white. But what I'm saying is, we felt that record on a spiritual level. What You Want to Do for Love.
Okay.
Come on now. And that shit came out in 1978.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's not as if he came in with the semi-appropriation. He came in and expressed himself in a way that we could relate to him.
Yeah.
You know? So that's all I'm saying. And please don't misconstrue this because...
So what's the line between appropriation and making you feel a way?
Appropriation to me is coming in... First and foremost, let's just define appropriation. Appropriation is coming into a space, taking the creative landscape of something and saying this is mine, and not giving credit to the people who actually originated the idea. You know, that's appropriation.
I guess I understand that. It could be you make the audience feel what you're saying, no matter what their background is. But at the same time, with the whole pop artists and everything, just to bring it back. With the whole pop artists and everything, I think they're very nasty for what they did as far as like trying to tell everybody to stream their music after they realized that they weren't the number one. And that's where hip hop is a competitive sport.
Right.
That's the thing that separates hip hop from rock, or hip hop from R&B, or hip hop from pop. But now I think since it's the number one genre, everybody else is starting to skew their thoughts and beliefs to what hip hop does. So it's a whole lot of competition.
It's a blurred line.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and looking at these pop artists, Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, come on now, y'all in the billions. You know, Roddy Ricch is a new guy, just making his mark, getting his first number one.
Right.
So it's like, all right, it's not sweet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we understand that you want to go ahead and get that title, but at the same time, it's like, damn, y'all didn't like when Taylor Swift was outed by Kanye West when she got her shine.
Yeah.
So let Roddy Ricch get his shine. If you're going to defend Taylor Swift, you know what I'm saying? Defend Roddy Ricch when he gets his shine. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. And just back to appropriation, because I do have the definition still pulled up here. The action of taking something for one's own use, typically without the owner's permission. Yeah. So essentially, that's what a lot of these artists do. You know, they come into our space. We could say
all of music is appropriated.
I wouldn't go as far as say all of music is
created by us. Rock created by us. Jazz created by us.
Well,
hip hop created by us. R&B created by us.
Yeah, no, I will not disagree with you on that, because that's the truth. I won't disagree with you on that part, because when we look at it, Elvis did the same thing to Lil Richie. You know what I'm saying? Lil Richard. You know what I'm saying? It was the same shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, they come in, they take our music, and they claim it as their own. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the template of what's been going on.
Right.
And I don't want that to continue happening. That's my main objective.
Yeah.
I don't want that shit to continue happening, because at some point it's not going to be me talking to my kids or my generations to follow us. Right. It's going to be someone else. They don't have the same understanding of what it feels like to be them.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm very protective of that space.
Right.
Well, truth be told, that happens in a lot more spaces than just music.
Yeah,
that just happens in general, where
it does.
You just want to be so much like us, or to where.
Right. But even if you think about it like this too, music is a reflection of life. We basically built this country. We built this
off
country
of free labor, dog,
and we get no credit for it. But anyway, all right, man. Enough of that.
They like the fun, dope parts of us, but
exactly
that rough, tough shit. Nah, I don't want no parts.
Understanding what it really feel like to be pulled over by the police. You know what I mean? Like, what's really going through your mind when you walk outside? You know, like, or when you're in a store and people are looking at you a certain way, or if you go into a space and you're not smiling. You know what I'm saying? It can become very dangerous for an individual like myself or like you. You know what I mean? People can assume that you're aggressive because you're not submissive, or you're not passive. You know, so it's a very sticky situation when you have people coming in to represent a community that know nothing about the actual ins and out of a daily life in that person's shoes. Right. So that's all I'm trying to express on this part. I got nothing against white people. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I love white people. I love y'all, man.
Yeah.
Y'all keep watching this and shit.
Yeah, I fuck with y'all. It's just educating yourself about what's actually going on outside of your own experience. Because you're missing a whole life experience on the other end, in which you listen to the music, which is like the narration of the experience to a certain extent. If you listen to only top charters, that's only a certain extent of the narration. Right. If you see other aspects of the black experience via gatherings, you know, not just media, because media will show you what they want to show you. It's an agenda, you know. So the black experience is so complex and dynamic that you won't be able to find an understanding of it just by listening to the music. Right. So when you listen to black music, that doesn't mean you understand the black experience. So make sure that you allow yourself to delve into that and find some type of understanding outside of what's on the radio or what's on the television, especially what's on reality TV. You know, black people are not just cookie cutter individuals or people.
Man, yeah, we spent a lot on that. Spent a lot of time on that topic.
Yeah, I feel like that was necessary.
Okay.
That's real life right now, boy.
Yeah.
All right, so I got Lonnie Love, one of the hosts from The Real.
Okay.
She basically said some shit about the whole Kevin Hart thing. You seen the documentary, right?
Yeah. Bro.
I'm just gonna play the shit that Lonnie Love was talking about with the whole Kevin Hart shit.
You know, I don't speak for the black community, but I do think that a lot of black men, they really don't know how to have true, faithful relationships. They think because they have money, because they have power, that they can treat women any kind of way.
Lonnie Love is saying things.
And that is something we need to work on. We need to work on that money and power does not mean that you can just do whatever you want to do.
In so many cultures, that is the whole machismo thing. Like that goes across the board. But I'm gonna say
it's not across the board, because what is happening is that we are still dealing with the point of slavery. And we are descendants of slavery, and because our families were broken up, we still do not have an idea of how to have together families, because our families were broken up.
Man, I'm damn, man. What the fuck was she talking about?
I've had enough. All right.
She was jumping all over the place. Number one,
wow.
Cheating is not just a black thing.
Wow,
cheating is not just a black thing.
It's a lot to address in that.
Let's unpack it, bro.
All right. So absolutely, cheating is not a black thing. No, what she was trying her best to communicate was the black family needs work, and the black family has been divided via transatlantic slave, and just slavery in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
the government as well, but go ahead.
Yeah. When the government came around and said, you don't need your man because we'll give you food, we'll give you shelter, we'll give you everything that you may need.
Yeah.
You don't need your man anymore. That made women more easily
on the
say
government
that we don't need them. You know, so I get what she was trying to communicate. However, I don't think she did her greatest job of communicating it.
Man, that shit was trash. What was she talking about? First of all, let's start this number one. Just because you have money doesn't mean that you're going to cheat. Poor niggas cheat too. So I don't know what she was saying. Oh, if you're black and once you start getting money, I understand, like, once you do get money, you probably going to have more people tempt you. But at the same time, don't, like, discredit the fact that niggas like us fucking cheat too. Like, niggas that live paycheck to paycheck cheat as well. And they don't have any money in their account like that. So to say that, like, rich black men cheat and we need to, I understand the whole, she should have made that two separate ideas though.
She was trying to continue her thought without being cut off. And I understand.
But hold on, then the Cheetah Girls girl, what's her name from the Cheetah Girls?
Adrienne Bailon.
Yeah, okay, the girl from Cheetah Girls. Anyway, she was saying that it's not just a black thing, and Lonnie Love cut her off and was like, nah, it is just a black thing.
That's because
I know a lot of Mexicans that cheat, bro. I know a lot of white niggas that cheat.
She wanted to really harp on the fact that the black family needed work, which I understand.
That should have been something separate though.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, it is across the board. Because this woman from a different perspective is saying the same thing. Monogamy is a concept. If we agree on monogamy, cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to uphold my part. You're supposed to uphold your part. Mm-hmm. And even more so, there's a lot of temptation after you've made your decision of being monogamous.
If anything, it's more temptation.
Yeah, because a lot of these guys are coming from spaces where they haven't had access to these amount of funds, this caliber of women. You know what I mean? So it's when they get to that space, it's like, well, damn, I never had this, I never had that.
Right.
And now all of that is being thrown at me on a daily basis. What do I do with myself? Do I go ahead and go for it and take what's there for me, available for me? Or do I say, no, I made my decision, I'm going to stick with this individual and not cheat? Some people don't even understand there's more than one concept of a relationship until they reach a different level of experience.
Yeah.
So at that different level of experience, they may be looking at it like, well, damn, all of these guys around me who have this level of success or obtainment are practicing relationships in a different way. Mm-hmm. I've committed to monogamy in my experience in this example. And however, I know I've committed to this concept, I like to try what my friends are doing. And then they get caught because their wife didn't agree on that concept of a relationship. So it becomes a sticky situation.
Yeah.
So Is it wrong that a man cheats? Yes, because it shouldn't be cheating if you made your decision. If you felt like you got to a level of status or obtainment where you want to rediscuss the terms of your relationship, you should do that before you step out on your wife, or your girlfriend or whoever you're dealing with.
Man, cheating is not just a black thing; it's a world thing, bro. So what you got, man?
All right. So my next one is: how many people have fallen off of their New Year's resolution already, and do those even work?
Shit. To be honest with you, man. And every time a nigga say "to be honest," he lying. But
it's some bullshit.
Nah, this is for real. I just started my New Year's resolution. I didn't really do no.
Nigga, that's not how it works. You're supposed to start on January.
Man, fuck all that. It's a new year. It's still a new year. The new year is a new year until July, because then it's halfway through.
What?
And it's an old year. Anyway, like I said.
Like making shit up on the fly. I ain't never heard nothing like that in my life.
Hey, look, man, it's 29 days in February, so that way Black History will be longer. Has nothing to do with that. But anyway, like I said, I just started my New Year's resolution, and that was just get back in the gym. Okay. I started today. My legs is so
I would ask you how you was doing, but nigga, it been one day.
Exactly. Hey, man, look, I think a lot of people get stuck on this whole, I'm going to write down my plans for the year. I'm going to create a vision board, which is fine. That's perfectly fine. But I think it's more about discipline than just saying that you're going to do all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I haven't fell out because I just started. You dig?
Yeah, you ain't fall out. You on day one. You going to have to update us as you continue the process.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we want to see how it go. Boy, you in here in a full R&B mode with a tank top and shit. And a beanie, nigga. It's hot and cold.
Shit. Ooh, hot cold ass nigga, right?
This nigga don't know. He's ready for whatever. Head ass.
Hell yeah. So have you kept up with your New Year's resolutions?
Nigga, I ain't made no New Year resolution.
Right.
I decided that I was going to live my best life. And what does that mean? It don't mean be reckless, but to me what that means is enjoy my experience, be present in more moments than I was previously, and just really find more ways of expressing myself and not limiting my expression. So that's
I know one of my resolutions, I mean it still hasn't come to fruition, but it's to get like the rest of this beard to stop being so patchy, so like fill it up.
And on that note,
what's up? That was probably using the Jamaican casserole and shit like that. It ain't really been working. So
nah.
I guess I'm just gonna have to keep praying and
keep
trusting
praying,
God to fill in the areas that are void. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I prayed to the beard gods and it just happened. You know what I mean?
I might care
like that.
Whatever, dog. Hey, I'm gonna keep brushing my shit. You know what I mean? I can't get waves and I can't grow a beard.
Brush it, grease it, bro. I ain't had to do much. My shit just showed up. I honestly tried to shave it away, bro. When I was like 20, like 19, 20, I was shaving that shit away. And I finally grew it. And nigga was like, damn, nigga, you got a beard.
Niggas thought you was 38.
They really did. They really did. But
man, I've been growing this shit for like a year and a half, and it's still kind of got a little bit of spaces. You feel me? Need a little bit of aeration.
Some people don't like. Some guys don't like beards. They shave like.
No, I like beard. I like
beard. He don't really.
That's weird. That's
weird. I think last year he had nothing, and then he just recently started doing the goatee thing. Yeah.
I thought about doing the goatee just because of the patches. I was thinking about just hitting the beard or the mustache. And then the little soul patch, I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah.
But I think I might have like a little double chin because I ain't been in the gym like that. So I think I'm just going to keep it. Yeah, just gonna keep it.
That's definitely a
I don't want to look like James Harden without the beard.
He cut his beard?
Before he grew the beard out, he looked,
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just going to, continue to try to fill these voids, you feel me?
Yeah, just keep practicing that oil treatment. Hot oil treatment, rub it in.
Hot oil treatment.
And
so you boil the oil?
I mean, I don't gotta do nothing.
Man, whatever. Hey, look, man. So I'm just gonna have to, man. Fuck all that. Hey, look.
You asked. So I got there until they ain't gotta do shit. I just wake up in the morning. If I wanted to be moisturized,
like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If I wanted to be moisturized, I got there. Okay, spot, head ass nigga.
okay.
Look, if I wanted to be moisturized, I just put the oil in that joint. Everyone that's listening right now, we have created a segment called Am I Wrong? So what you would do with that is you write in, you ask us a question. For example, I just started talking to my ex's best friend. This is not me, but anyway, I just started talking to my ex's best friend after we broke up. My girlfriend was treating me wrong at the time, and I couldn't figure out why. So I finally broke it off with her, right? Now, her best friend came around trying to talk to me, and I entertained it. That led to going out a couple times and then eventually hooking up. So, am I wrong for that situation? That's essentially what you would type in or what you would write up. Let's talk about it. Y'all write it in, and we'll see what's going on. We'll discuss it live, and you'll get to get some feedback from us and from our followers. So make sure you do that.
Or you can email us at TempCheckPodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
Yo, if y'all want to follow me on IG, y'all can go to IGOBYSIVAAD. That's I Go by Savad on IG.
Alright, and if you want to follow me on IG, follow me at official Don John. It's spelled just how it sounds, and that's DONJOHN. And on Twitter at Poppy Don John.
Hey man, don't forget to follow the podcast on IG at TempCheck Pod.
Make sure you subscribe to our page on YouTube at the TempCheck Podcast. Cut on your notifications so you won't miss a thing. And until next time, we out.